What's up, everybody? A lovely Sunday afternoon, and I thought I'd come online to help out some of my uh, terminally ill and seriously ill brothers and sisters in the form of me trying to educate you, those who don't go through those problems, what we go through. Sometimes you tell a person, you're on dialysis, or you got cancer, you have lupus, or you have some other trying disease, kidney failure, or whatever. And for the most part, people will glaze over it. They're not really concerned about it because it doesn't concern them. You could be a brother or sister, it doesn't matter, because they're not going through it. Let me say this too. A lot of times, some of these illnesses, like mine, I'm on dialysis, and everything that I came through was because of heart failure. The heart failure came from stress. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened. 2013, I moved down to South Carolina. The biggest mistake of my life. That was the biggest mistake of my life. When I came down, and I hadn't been down in South Carolina for years around my parents or my brothers. I hadn't been around them for years. I'm living my life in New York. Call, if they needed something, I help out. But as far as me coming down, I never came down here because it was a horrible place for me as a kid. So I leave my job and I direct my own steps. Instead of me putting my faith in God and doing what I had to do, or sitting down and just, Usad, what are you going to do next? What's going to be the next chapter? I didn't do that, and I went ahead and came down south. The thought was, hey, I hadn't been down in a while, and I want to go see my parents and everything. And plus, my mom at the time was not doing well at all. That was a huge part of it. And I came down. When you are away from people for so long, they don't know who you are. You done went through trials and tribulations without them. They done went through whatever they went through without you. Some of those people will still see you as they saw you when you were younger. And I'm going back damn near 30 years, you know? And another mistake that I made is, instead of me recognizing shit for what it was, I tried to make it better than what it was, you know? Instead of me being who I was, I tried to assimilate myself to the South Carolina way of life. That was the wrong thing to do. That was the wrong thing to do. That was the wrong thing to do. And I was stressed. I was stressed. I was stressed. I was stressed. I was under so much pressure. I'm surprised I'm not a diamond. Well, maybe I am. But I went through a lot of stress and it caused the heart failure. It wasn't what I was eating. I had came from fucking South Jamaica, Queens, in Brooklyn. I'm chasing motherfuckers up and down 14-story buildings over a 20-acre, 27, 30-acre land of property. Through boroughs sometimes. And then to come down here and all of that fall apart because of stress. Let me tell you something. When they say stress is a killer, it is a killer. It wears on all of your internal organs. So they don't see it on the outside, but on the inside, you're getting fucked up. On the inside, you're getting fucked up. And so those of you that are under stress right now, Don't deny it. That's what I did. I denied it because I did not want the confrontations. And that's something that I got from my mother that I hate. I didn't want the confrontation. I should have been like my sister. I should have been like my older sister. Well, I only got one. I should have been like my sister, and I should have been like my father. You know, address that shit right then and there. Whatever happens, happens. Because you're not doing something that's wrong. You're just addressing what is wrong. These things should not go on like this. You know. But then here comes another lesson. You can't make people do what's in their best interest. Let me say that again. You cannot make people do what's in their best interest. As much as you fight and fight and fight, try to do things that's right for them, you're wearing on yourself. You're wearing on yourself. And if you're a smoker, that makes it even worse. And I'm talking about cigarettes. So here we are with an individual who's sick. And they're trying their best to contribute or to stay alive. But people, and there's another lesson that I learned. You got to be careful about takers because takers will always take. It will never be enough. They will always take. This is why people who hit the lottery or come into money or whatever, they end up broke because they're trying to please everybody. There's going to be some sad motherfuckers around. And that's what you have to realize. You're not going to be able to please everybody. And nor should you try. Friendly, firm, and fair. That's the way I treated people during my employment. That's the way I need to treat people in life. Friendly, firm, and fair. You know, now, it's been my experience if you do that, you're friendly, you're firm, but you're fair. So you're not going to always get your way with me. That person's going to realize, well, you know, he didn't say anything wrong. And even if they don't, that's not your responsibility. That's not your responsibility. Your mother and your father in their 60s or 80s, you can help them out, but they're not your responsibility. And I think another thing that we try to do, because we know we can't do much, we try to buy our way through. Well, I'll pay for this. I'll pay for that. I'll pay for this. I'll pay for that. But because it's done so easily, it's not respected. It's not respected. And when another situation come up, well, we'll call on this person again. Another situation come up, we'll call on this person again. And that becomes the norm. You can't do that. You can't do that. Don't try to don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Everything I say, I'm saying from experience. Don't do that. Those of you that don't go through health problems, you're not going through them right now because you haven't hit a certain age. But as you get older, you're going to go through shit. You know, if you got family or friends that's going through something, some type of medical situation or depression or whatever, understand or try to understand what they're going through. Understand what the symptoms are. Understand what, like, okay, it is a fact. After dialysis, a person is going to be tired, they're going to be moody, they're going to be hungry. It is a fact that if they miss days after dialysis, or you're going to have to clean their blood more, they're going to take all more off, that's going to cause them to feel sick again. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. They had this up in the dialysis place. It's really good. Let's say I come in, we go in, we have to weigh ourselves. I go in and I weigh myself. I am 105 kilograms. And let's say when I left, this was on a weekend, I left on Friday. I was 100.1 kilograms. So that means that I put on 5 kilograms. Okay, now I left Friday. I missed Monday. I didn't go Monday, but I did go Wednesday. Bear with me. So in that time, over that weekend and that Monday, the Tuesday, I put on 5 kilograms of weight. Let's just say gallons. I put on 5 gallons of fluid. Now, the fluid part of my situation, I couldn't somewhat control. And 5 kilograms over a weekend and 2 days is not bad. That's not bad at all. Because some people will put that on over the one day that they're off. So our days are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. They'll leave at 100 on Monday and come back on Wednesday, and they're up at 5. They're not monitoring their fluid intake. I do. I do. I do. I want to live. And what happens with that is your heart will expand when you get all of that weight on, all that fluid on. That's where that fluid goes, around your heart, your liver, and your lungs and shit. And then it's gonna, when they take it off, your heart's gonna go back down. So this is what your heart is doing. Let me see. I'm gonna make sure you get it. This is what your heart is doing over those weeks and spans, and that's what your heart is doing. It's expanding and slowing. So what'll happen is you'll end up with a flabby heart. Think about a balloon with water in it. Put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out, put it in, take it out. Now put a little bit in and just see. That's how your heart's gonna end up being. People don't think about that. You know, you have, I care about people. I'm not gonna put more on a person than I would put on myself. I'm not gonna ask people to do shit that I know that they probably can't do. This is why a lot of relationships don't work. Because not friends, family, whatever, relationships, love. Because people don't pay attention to the conversations that's being had. All they know is that they're in a situation and you're there. They don't know what you could do, but they're gonna call on you. Sometimes people, you have to say no. No matter what it is, you have to say no. And especially if you know that it's putting you in harm's way. Fuck what they feel. You have to say no. I can't do that. You have to put yourself first because they're not going to put you first. They don't give a fuck about you. All they want is their situation taken care of. What's important to them taken care of. Now, once you die, they'll pour a little liquor on the ground and may cry for a day or two. But that's about it. They don't give a fuck about you. You could see that in the way they responded to other people passing or transitioning. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. That's my way of getting through shit. I look at the humor and shit. I try to make things funny. But it's not funny. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. It's sad. I had a friend who was real, real sick in New York. And I knew that he was sick. I knew he couldn't go out. I knew he couldn't go party and shit like that because he'd get tired real, real quick. So what I would do is I would say to some of our mutual friends, look, we're gonna go by his house. We're gonna just, play a couple of games and spades or pity pat or whatever we were playing. Or dominoes. And we're gonna leave. But we're not gonna stay long because he can't stand shit for long. And they understood that. And one of the guys, actually several of them, was like, yo man, that was mad cool that you thought about that like that. It is conversations like that that I think that are my greatest praise. Me recognizing and helping one of my friends or family members that's in a situation. And it's not because I'm in this situation. I know that. I've always been a caretaker. I've always been one that wants to do and help out people. But people will see that, and takers will always take. It will never be enough. I can't say that enough. Be careful about being a giver. If you are a giver, be careful about that because people don't give a fuck. People don't give a fuck, man. They don't give a fuck. You have to start saying no to things that you cannot do. Oh, could you come? No, I can't. No, no. And they might see you sitting in the yard like I am now, just sit back, relax. Oh, well, he couldn't. No, I couldn't. No. It was important for me to sit down and get some sun and rest and just relax because I'm exhausted. It might not look like it. What does exhaustion look like? You really won't see it on some people's face. Some people will see it and express it. Some people won't. It's hurtful. It's hurtful because you want reciprocation of the love and care that you give. But people are not going to always give that. And nor should that be expected. You like it when it happens. That's why I know, my dad, man, he had said to me a couple of times, because my dad used to take me to and from dialysis. And he said, yeah, I could tell when you're sick, man. You be trying to hide it, but I could tell when you're sick. That too was a compliment to me because I don't want to be like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do it. I want to try, but, after having conversations with my doctor and the nurses and the technicians, sometimes you just got to say no. People going to get upset, but you know what? Let them get upset because what are they going to do? Cry at your funeral? They don't know what it is to have a terminal illness. Dialysis is a terminal illness. If I don't go and get my blood clean, I could be out of here with less than a year. Less than a year, I could be out of here. So I have to go and get that done. I have to take care of myself. I have to manage my stress intake. I can't be stressed. So when people are on a tour or they want to be on it, have their ass on their shoulder, so fucking be it. Because that motherfucker won't give a fuck about me when I die. People that get mad at you because you won't do what you can't do or what you shouldn't be doing. That's like asking a motherfucker to dive off of a bridge and he can't swim. Stop asking people to do shit that you should know that they can't. And if you don't know, find out. Sit down, Google something, make some phone calls, find out what that illness is about or what it's like. Because the last thing I would want anyone to think is that I'm a bum, just don't want to do nothing. I worked nearly 40 of my 50 years of life. I was out there working. I had to. Even before you got out of high school, you had to work. Things wasn't always peaches and cream. So, long story short, people don't give a fuck about you, man. You have to take care of yourself. And if you have family members that's going through shit, try to understand what they're going through before you start asking, oh man, can you? Because they're gonna want to say yeah. They want to say yeah, I got you, when they should be saying no, I can't. Oh come on, man. Y'all had to see this truck was crazy. Yeah, but listen, I didn't mean for this to be this long, but there was no way I was going to explain all of this to you guys in 5 minutes. I had a friend, her name was Laura Edwards. She went to school with me in middle school. God bless her soul. Laura had MS, and I saw her deteriorate over our last year of school together. She was walking with a cane, crutches at one time, and then it went from crutches to where they had to. The school wasn't made for people with disabilities. So I remember one time they were making a ramp specifically for her because she was the only student that came to school in a wheelchair. And they made a ramp for her and everything. And we were really, really good friends. Laura was white, but Laura was, oh my gosh, she was an angel. She was an angel. She was a beautiful, beautiful person. And as a kid, she understood so much of what was going on. And because you're sick. When you are a sick person, you have to read a lot. You really do. You have to read a lot. And in that reading, you're going to be educated on a lot of things. And Laura was educated on a lot of things, health related, race related, you know, and she was just a beautiful, beautiful soul. And I remember trying to always help her into school. And she asked, "Well, why do you try? Why do you be trying to help me? Why are you my friend?" And mind you, we had been friends since like the fourth grade when I first came from New York to South Carolina. And I said, "Because you need my help. I always want to help people, and that's why I went into law enforcement." And let me tell you something about law enforcement. People go into law enforcement for three reasons. One, they're born to do this. This is what they were born to do. And it's not the enforcement of laws. It was to protect the laws, protect the rights of people, to help people at the end of the day. That's why people get into law enforcement. The second reason people get into law enforcement because they just want that power. They want the power and the prestige that come with that badge and wearing that gun. And the third reason that people get into law enforcement is because they want to get trained on and be able to kill black people or people that they don't like. They just want to abuse their authority. That's all that they want to do. That's why they get into it. But I got into it because I really wanted to help people. And I have. I saved lives. Nearly lost my own several times. And see, shit like this, they don't know. My family don't know a lot of the shit that I went through. They don't know a lot of the hell that I went through. Getting shot, getting stabbed, getting jumped, and not just one time. Well, I got shot twice. Fortunately, it was in the vest. One was grazed, but neither one were for me. But people be shooting recklessly in New York, and shit happens. You know, and it's like lightning. Guys, my chief was like, "Well, damn, didn't this happen to you before?" Yeah, it was lightning strikes twice. Yeah, it did. Getting cut, getting sliced. And sometimes it's on the job, sometimes it was off the job. But this shit happens. But I handled that shit. It's difficult when you can't explain to people what you've done and what you've been through. And now you're in a situation where you need help, you need assistance. But let me say something that I also say to myself. When you find yourself facing adversity, when you find yourself up against the wall on shit, being a New Yorker, that makes you reassess your situation. And we're always pressured as New Yorkers. That's just what it is. We're always pressured, but we face that pressure and we meet it face head on, and we get through it. That's the same mentality that I have to have now around people who don't have that mentality. If you have a person that's going through shit in their life and you don't know how to help them, leave them the fuck alone. If you got people going through shit in their life and you want to help them, help them. Find out what they're going through. I'm almost at 25 minutes, and I did not mean for this to be this long, but I hope that y'all listen to this, and I hope that I've expressed myself clearly. I hope I didn't leave out anything, because I just want to have a conversation about some shit that, that I've been going through, that I know a lot of other people go through. Family members not understanding, friends not understanding what they go through. Wanting them to do this, wanting them to do that, asking them to do this, and it's exasperating. Why would you ask me to do it? No, I can't. And then they don't take it into consideration. Oh, he didn't go to dialysis the other day. They're gonna pull even more today, so I know he's gonna be. No, those conversations like I'm having now, and I post this, hoping that people will look at this and share it, and realize how they may be treating their family members. Not intentional. Sometimes it's not intentional. But if you haven't taken the opportunity to understand what they're going through, understand their illness, well, then you're not going to do them no good. You're not going to do them no good. You got to try to understand what they're going through. And if you want to help them, help them. If you don't, just leave them the fuck alone. I hope this has been edifying for some of you. I hope some of you have a better understanding of what it is that some people go through, or maybe the understanding that you need to find out more about what a person's going through in their situation. You don't have to always be lifting a hand or whatever. Sometimes it's just leave them alone. It's just that simple. You know, most people are strong and they can deal with it. They can handle it. But they don't want to be. They don't want to be left out neither. You know. So it's about having humanistic qualities. Being a human and understanding that people want to live. They want to enjoy their life. I probably can't do this, that, or the other, but I still want to maintain some form of life. I want to go out, want to have drinks, want to have friends, and can't drink that much. I don't really drink like that, but even if I just go out and I just see you having a good time, or I'm out in an environment like I'm accustomed to, that's another thing. When people don't know you, when people don't know the life that you've lived before you got around them, that's a problem too. I've been places, seen things, I've had experiences that some of my brothers and some of my friends have never had. And some of them I wouldn't want them to have. I'm part venting, part explaining. I hope you understand. I really do. Because when you don't understand, the next thing that happens is the depression. And once a person falls into that, it's very difficult to get them out. It's very difficult to get them out. In fact, they can only get themselves out of that depression. They can only get themselves out of that depression by having people that they could call and talk to, and say, okay, well, how should I address this? How should I address that? They got people that they could call and talk to about shit like that. Make yourself one of those people. Yo, how you feeling today? Let them be able to be honest with you. I'm exhausted. And if you get tired of hearing a person say that they're exhausted, imagine how tired they are being exhausted, nauseous, sick, gotta vomit, just don't feel good. Anyway, I love you guys. Peace and blessings to you all. Gotta take care. This will be posted on YouTube, so if you want to look at it there, um, because this is almost a half an hour long. But it was a conversation that needed to be had. So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.